Hey, what's up, you guys? I was just sitting here Monday morning. I just finished a breakfast dash and kind of thinking because it's my, start of my W-2 work week, what the hell happened to gig work and especially DoorDash? What caused it to go down so bad? And I've been scrolling through some of my older YouTube videos and looking at the titles, and it has gotten so bad from what it used to be, income wise, and being able to do it for a living has almost completely stopped. It's very difficult. I'm not on Spark. Spark was still supporting me, but now that I'm not on Spark, that's what it made me have to go get a real job. But what the hell happened to gig work and DoorDash? And I have some theories and some ideas, but I wanted to start a discussion and hear what you guys have to say. So I used to easily do 2 grand a week, and a lot of you probably don't believe that. I have new viewers and gained a shitload of subscribers from the Walmart viral video, and I wasn't doing 2 grand a week anymore even back then when that video came out. So I'm gonna put video link in the description of my video titled 11,000 in 1 month on DoorDash and Uber Eats. So click on that in the description if you want to. I show 5 weeks in my bank account of over 2,000. So I think one of them is my record, 2,600 in a week on DoorDash and Uber Eats. So click on that and check that out if you haven't seen my. That's what made me popular. I was a workaholic, doing 15-hour shifts, and that's what made my channel popular, was showing how high you could get it if you maxed the shit out of it. But DoorDash was the best app for several years. It was the best. All the other YouTubers have it in their name. They still do. Like Dasher this, Dasher that, Pedro, DoorDash, like Dashing Trader. Almost all of them use the DoorDash in their name, and it's starting to go to one of the worst ones. So my main theory that I think killed gig work altogether is, and don't be offended, don't be offended with your politics, and I'm just going to call it fraudulent accounts. Okay, I'm not gonna say who's using those fraudulent accounts, but almost every gig app, and especially DoorDash only checks my identity like once every 2 months is how often it asks me to do a face scan. So it's probably one of the easiest apps to give away to someone else. But this is a fact, and people will be offended by it and try to deny it. But anyone in the world, anyone on this whole earth can come to the United States and get on any gig app and do it for a living without being questioned. And you can not have a driver's license. You can not be old enough to drive. You can deliver alcohol when you're not old enough to buy alcohol. All those things are true. And when I'm out in the world doing my gig work, I'm not doing it with my eyes closed. So you can't argue with me on that's not a fact. That's to me is what killed it. I'm positive that's what killed gig work for me here in this market, Phoenix area. And then there's some other things that could factor in, like it's such a ripoff. DoorDash is such a huge ripoff, and you shouldn't be using it regularly. It should be on an occasion when you can't, you're stuck in a situation where you just need dinner brought, or whatever, or you need some painkillers from Walgreens, and your back is killing you and you can't, it shouldn't be a daily habit, which it is. I have regular customers and I've seen them slash their tip over a couple years time, and I've been doing more and more no tip orders. I just did a no tip Starbucks. just now for $4.50, and the base pay got increased. So I think people get addicted to it and then cut the tip, lower the tip, or just stop tipping altogether. And then the smart people realize what a ripoff it is, and they cut it out and quit using it. But that's another thing that factors into, why it's gone downhill since it was new and popular and everybody loved it and everybody was so appreciative. And I remember how people would talk about how cool it was when I would come, and same with rideshare too. So back when I did $2,000 a week on DoorDash and Uber Eats, and it was mostly DoorDash, it would be like $1,700 on DoorDash and $400 and something on Uber Eats. DoorDash had it was called Top Dasher back then, and I never bought into it. Didn't believe that it helped, and I didn't need it. I could get a good over $2 a mile order by declining 2. Like 1 out of 3 was an awesome order, and I could easily stay working. And remember, people used to ask me why I worked overnight and why don't you work dinner time? I never worked the dinner time, because I hated traffic. That was my main reason for not wanting to work dinner time, because I hated traffic. Now I don't work it because the platinum drivers get all the orders, and it only sends me stupid double orders. So, but back then I discovered that any 15-hour stretch was the same, had the same amount of slowdowns, didn't matter. So I chose to do it overnight and late into the morning is how I did my shifts back when I was killing it back then with the $11,000 month. And that month was 11,000 because there was 5 Tuesdays in that month. So it was 5 weeks to achieve that 11,000, but still pretty impressive if you watch the video. So, and I showed it in my bank. So it's not, it's not fake. It's not photoshopped. It's on a video. And I showed my bank account because I was accused of it being fake when I would post it on like driver Facebook groups and shit. So, but anyway, what other reasons is there? Like, people have drastically cut their tipping. I know that. And then just this new tier system on DoorDash is real. They really do block you from the good orders, and sometimes they block you from getting any when it's slow. And also, I used to be able to get on no matter what. I didn't need the Top Dasher to log on because I could always get on and stay on throughout the whole 15 hours. And now there's huge stretches in all parts of the day where it's gray and you can't log on anymore. So, but I want to know what your reason is. Give me your reason for why it's gone to shit. And I mean, some people in some areas might still be doing just fine. I know the Spark drivers up there in Longview, Washington are loving life, but it has gone to, I'm sitting here, I'm scheduled to work today and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday at a W-2 job because of how bad it crashed. So let me know what you think. I think it's the fraudulent driver thing. I think that anyone from anywhere, doesn't matter if they're a murderer or a rapist or, they don't have a driver's license, or they're all allowed to come here anywhere in the U.S., get on these apps and make money. And that's a good deal for them. There's people that are doing that, taking that advantage of that. So anyway, I'm just thinking about this subject as I, prepare to go to my W-2 job later. So give me your opinion in the comments, and I'll put that 11,001 month video in the description. All right, that's it for now. Talk soon. Later.